call the meeting to order. Amy, if you could take the roll.
Mayor Bogenreich.
Here.
Ms. Burhoop. Here. Ms. Hoffman.
Here.
Ms. Strain. Here. Mr. Tucker.
Here. And we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, look for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Then I'll look for a motion to approve the March 16th minutes. Combine these or no?
I would do them separately.
I figured. All right, can we do the regular meeting for March 16th?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, look for a motion for the March 16th minutes for the Board of Equalization meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we'll move on to Commissioner, Department Head, and Community Board reports.
Sorry, there's a March 20th equalization too.
Oh, okay.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, department reports. And we're without Jeff Dooley tonight, so we'll try our best.
Yeah.
Jessica, do you have?
Anybody have anything? I have something. Rich, you want to come up? Come up and do a fancy dance? Chief Headed has stood at the front lines enforcing the laws in this city, making it safer for all of us. He strengthens the bonds with all of the citizens in this town. He's got a lot of friends here. A lot of people like you. He's guiding officers that are below him. Some of his officers that he's guiding, he knew in their infancy after 31 years. Through some of the city's most trying times and moments of uncertainty and challenges that remain ahead of us, you have remained dedicated and consistent. March of 2025 marked his 30th anniversary, but I believe it was overshadowed by the election and other things that were going on. But tonight, we're here to set that straight and make it right, because you are appreciated. But Rich, I hope your legacy is not measured by the number of years that you serve for us, but the number of lives that you impact, because you do make a big impact. But we're lucky to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I made this myself. Well, I didn't like add to it, but I designed it.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
We should get a photo of that, yeah.
Well, with that said, I just want to thank everybody and the citizens for being here this many years. I've been here 31 and a half years. It's been enjoyable. I enjoy serving the public, and it's very much appreciated by me. With that said, we're going to go back to North Shore. I want everybody to know, and this figures the best time to do it, is there's road construction you guys haven't figured out from the east side of North Shore to Penrose. It's going to be strictly enforced. The construction people I talked to today don't want anybody down there unless you live in that area between the east side and Penrose. That's who can go into that area, the people that reside there and their contractors. In order to keep it safe for everybody, we got to enforce it. It's got to be strictly enforced. So I ordered my officers to make sure that they're issuing citations to anybody that goes around that road barricade per South Dakota codified law. So I'm not doing it to be mean, I'm doing it for the safety of everybody out there. So give the city a little bit of time, that road will be back to normal, and I think we'll be back to a town that we can strive to proceed with. So with that said, I hope everybody follows the rules and just understand we just got a job to do. So thanks.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Rich. Did we have any other board reports?
I would.
Amy, do you have something? We'll be right with you.
Go ahead, Lynn.
I just have one short comment to make. We've just finished our second quarter of the senior meals program. We still have room for more diners, and of course, the winter months were quite challenging, but we look forward to the spring weather and hopefully more diners.
Thank you, Lynn.
And I have that on June 2nd, the city is going to be having a joint election with the county. We did end up with 2 candidates, so we will have a commissioner ballot question on the election. Our candidates are Vincent Tucker and Jeffrey Myers, who I think is in the audience here. A couple of other deadlines there. The first day for absentee voting will be April 17th, and this is all going to be done at the courthouse. And then May 18th is the deadline for voter registration. So it's not too late if you're not registered to vote. There's applications on our website, or you can stop in a city hall or up at the county.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, now it's time for community input. Sorry about that.
Hi, I'm Randy Bailey, and my wife and I own the apartments on Highway 105. And we're so glad that LG Evers finally got done over there last fall and got the area cleaned up, looking nice. And as you know, we've had a lot of complaints we've turned into the city, and and we're glad to get rid of that noise and the dust over there. You can't believe how the renters has commented on that. And then we were here last December 15th, and we requested that the city go forward with an ordinance that would prohibit this transloading within 1,000 feet of any residential area, as many other communities already have. So we're hoping that the city will move forward with this here ordinance and get something done with it so we don't have that happening again. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else with community input? Anna?
I just have a couple of questions. Are we supposed to use those mailboxes that are put up on the west side of North Shore? Because they have mailboxes there with house numbers on, but nobody said anything about if we're supposed to be using them.
Ross, can you answer that? Thank you.
There should be a webpage update coming related to those mailboxes. If not tonight, then it'll be tomorrow morning, I think. But the residents within the construction area where the road is closed right now, those are the only ones that are utilizing temporary mailboxes.
So we could still use ours then?
Yes.
Okay.
And
That
then-
was our question.
Yep, and then as construction extends further west along North Shore and then encompasses Penrose, the contractor just wanted to get all the mailboxes set up, so they're
Okay.
kind of ready to go, and that location will probably shift.
Okay.
But right now, only the people within the impacted area are gonna be using those temporary mailboxes. So there's 3 that are in use on the east side, and then 1, I think just Gunderson's on the west side.
Okay. I just know that there was a row of them there, so.
Yep, so eventually all those will get used, but for right now, it's just 3.
All right, thank you, thank you. And thank you guys for enforcing the barricade, because there was a lot of people that were driving on the grass and the curb and the sidewalk, and they were making terrible trenches going through there. And some were coming from the west, and they weren't even slowing down. They were still clipping right along when they zipped through there. So I appreciate that you guys fixed that.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Anyone else?
May I ask one question? I don't know, Ross, if this is for you or Rusty, but as of noon today, I did not see any detour signs coming off exit 4, telling everybody to turn right, or off Military. And those are very important because all the people are turning left, and then they're coming to, what surprises me says, in construction. So maybe we need to take that sign down for the time being and make sure that people know to turn right at exit 4 and go up 105. They're still trying to come back to North Shore and then having to go down Streeter Drive.
Yeah, we can definitely, we'll talk to the contractor and make sure we get some visuals.
That would be great. Thanks.
Maybe northbound on exit 4.
Exit 4 and Military. Well, and I don't know what you have on 105. I didn't go over there, but it should be. I think there's a straight up the road.
I just had one question, and Jeff's not here tonight, so maybe it's not going to be answered, but is there any updates on like flood control? Because I know tonight you're going to talk about fixing some of the levees around, another $300,000 for that, but yet I'm not hearing much updates on protecting Penrose and North Shore. You're fixing the stuff, and I just imagine it being ruined again.
Yeah.
Putting in new roads to make it ruined.
I can tell you, we've been meeting with the Army Corps once a month, and they are getting ready to start the general investigative study. They call it the GI study. That's to study all the hydrology for southern Union County, and that study will lead to flood mitigation solutions. So it's a long process. In fact, the Army Corps said, before it's completely constructed, could be 10 years from the flood. But that process is started, and we will be anxious to get the results of the general investigative study. So that is an ongoing process, but it's a long one. But thanks for asking it. Anyone else? All right, move on to the agenda, flood recovery. First item is consideration of Project 1 for McCook Lake Grading Project bid.
Yeah, so the first phase of this flood property grading project was let on April 1st. There were 7 bids received in the range of $94,000 all the way up to $162,000. The low bidder was Lieber Construction, and after reviewing the bid tabulations, we are recommending award of the project to Lieber Construction with the total bid value at $94,131.09.
And your estimate was 175, so
Correct.
that's a good thing.
And good and bad, yeah. Hopefully we can get those a little tighter next time. But there's a lot of kind of miscellaneous items in there that.
And this is phase 1, so this will be west of the construction area.
Correct, yep.
And then, as I understand, the goal is to, as soon as North Shore is complete, to start working on the rest of the lots that were purchased by the city, which would be in the construction zone today, and that might be started in August.
Yeah, I think we could, we have plans, more or less ready at this point. We'll have to make some modifications based on whatever the bid date decides to be. But we would be ready and prepared to let that project whenever the city wants to proceed. And, we would just coordinate the time frame for construction to make sure that we don't have conflicts with, contractors working in the same areas.
Why can't we just do it all at once?
Because
We're
of the-
already gonna have people hauling dirt here and there, and we're gonna be tearing up stuff, and I think, do we wanna get the road poured, and then we're gonna start putting dump trucks full of dirt on it? That doesn't sound like a very good idea either. Why don't we just, if this is such a good price, why don't we just keep right on going? I'm still confused why we just didn't throw the dirt from when we dug it out of the lake and just put it in the damn hole to begin with. But my question is if we're in this process right now, and it's already gonna be torn up, could we not get one contractor to talk to the other contractor and say, hey, I need to haul dirt over here? And they're gonna be like, yep, we can put dirt over here, I'm gonna tear up this side. I think it's foolish to wait. If we got a good price here, we got a good bid here, I think we just keep right on going.
Yeah, so, if there's kind of a couple options, if we wanted to extend these contract unit prices to other areas, we could talk to the contractor and make sure they're, okay with that, up to a certain value. Because as we start adding new bid items into the contract, South Dakota codified law only allows us a certain value that we can go over the original contract. And so we'd have to be, cognizant of that if we wanted to just extend this current contract into another area. But we could also let the project, the rest of the project areas, as soon as we wanted to, and maybe there are areas that the contractor could get started on sooner. For instance, like the area to the north, for instance, is, there is some overlap there, but I think, they could find places to work and make it work between the different contractors.
That's my guess. If we can, while we're doing it, let's just do it. We got dump trucks and all the stuff there, let's just do it.
Is it possible, we're looking at 2 phases for the construction of North Shore, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so after we move out of phase 1 into phase 2, is it possible that we could do behind Penrose to the east side of the houses on Penrose? I think that's a terribly dangerous area. You've got that building that's hanging out there with a wall holding it up. You don't know what could happen, but if, at the very least, when we move more to the west to phase 2, that instead of waiting for Penrose to be number 6, it seems like that's kind of everybody wanted to worry about the lake. I'm not so worried about the lake property as I am the people behind Penrose on the east of Penrose
Yeah.
and towards Roost.
Yeah, we could certainly phase it that way. So if the priority area is the area to the north, we could schedule that to be the kind of the first area, or phase 1 of that project,
So you're saying we could actually take this price and move it into some of the other areas?
We could to a certain extent. We can extend the bid unit price as long as we're not changing bid items, but you can only go up to a certain value. And I want to say it's a percentage, and if it's under, I think because this project is so small, the amount we can extend that is probably less so than if it was a bigger project. But we can do some more investigation on that. We would have to talk to the contractor and make sure that they're willing to extend that price to all these, other areas. But if that's the direction we, want to proceed, we can have those conversations.
Also, when I've done that in the past and had a big change order because the bids came in low, we also had to contact like the second and third bidders to make sure they wouldn't contest the original bid price. And this is an amazing bid price. So I don't think we want to do anything that would sacrifice this initial bid package because the prices did come in so well.
I think your options to expand to other areas rather than expanding this project, which is what it sounds like you're talking about, is really to add, like let those additional projects or put those out with that specific description of what those areas are going to be. Because what they put together as their package was a specific area, right? And so we can't really then take and extrapolate that into other areas, just because we like the bid amount on it. But it does show us that we've got a competitive bid environment, that people are out there and that they want work, and we had, a good number of people responding and, coming in under the bid amount, which I know that you want to be accurate, but it does show competitiveness out there, so, my suggestion is that you really look at expanding additional or letting additional projects rather than trying to build that back into this.
Can I make a motion that the property area by Penrose would have the top priority? That would be the first, next one that we would bid?
So that is not an issue that's on our agenda. And so for our agenda, what we've noticed for work that we're doing today is consideration of Project 1, McCook Lake Grading Project bid. So that's the action that we can take with regard to this bid, is to accept that and receive and move on. But your feedback would probably be good for the next agenda, or direction for city administration to take from here.
I know
and
that
to bring that back to
I
the
know
commission.
that we took one agenda item, and we made it into 3, which caused me to vote no. And that's the only reason I ask.
I'm sorry, what's the one agenda item then?
Not tonight, before. It had to do with wages, salaries, and everyone wondered why I voted no. It's because you had one agenda item and then you incorporated 2 other things. We're done with that. I don't care about that. But if we can't add to this agenda item, then I hope we're very careful of that in the future.
I'll make the motion to approve the contract to Lieber Construction for $94,131.09.
And I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ross. Next item, consideration of bids for surplus garages on North Shore. I believe I don't know if you were involved with this, Ross, but I believe there was only one bidder, and
It was Tom Hummel.
Tom Hummel, and he bid $400 to remove all 4 garages. I'll just read it. These properties are located on the lots that will be regarded as Project 1 McCook Lake regrading project. The commission approved the sale of those garages through sealed bids. Bids were open March 31st. Per the advertised notice of bid, we had one bidder, Tom Hummel of Hummel House Moving. The bid was for $400 for all 4 units. Mr. Hummel has agreed to hold off on one garage located at 85 North Shore, as it still contains personal belongings, and the $400 would go to the general fund. So we'll look for a motion to approve this bid.
So moved. Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item, consideration of cooperative agreement between Department of Army, Corps of Engineers, and North Sioux City and Union County for Big Sioux River flood and erosion control. So this project is basically, I believe, putting us on notice that the levee hasn't been maintained properly, and that we have a cooperation agreement between the Corps, the city, and the county, that we are to maintain that. And what is the action item here?
Be approval of the cooperation agreement,
So this is a new cooperation agreement.
correct?
Okay, and they have identified where the levee has been damaged, and I think that some of that was neglected, and I know I did talk to Jeff, and he said that's something we need to incorporate into our maintenance program going forward. But this agreement is identifying those damaged areas, and that it's the county and the city's responsibility to maintain those. So, I guess we'll look for a motion to approve the cooperative agreement between the three parties.
Approve the cooperative agreement and authorize the mayor to sign.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is Corps of Engineer Big Sioux General Investigation Update. So that may have been coming from Jeff, I assume. And I think I filled you in a little bit on that we're meeting monthly with the Army Corps, and that's in the process. That's the next step, is the study that they are leading. Anything you can add, Ross?
Based on our last meeting, I believe the Corps was getting prepared to coordinate field work to actually go out and do some bathymetric survey to get new data, new cross-sections on the existing Big Sioux River, and then they'll look at that and compare that with the existing cross-sections and kind of determine how accurate they believe the flood models to be. And then I know internally they're working on some other hydraulic information based on, rainfall events and to determine whether or not those numbers are, still accurate and valid. So I think it's a lot of just kind of starting off with the field work and some data collection, more or less, and then they'll be continuing that study kind of throughout the summer.
Okay. Any other questions? Sure.
She said that you guys had talked about different plans that I think John had worked on about Mud Lake or different things. Did that just get thrown away then and you're going with whatever they decide?
Those could still end up being used. So yes, Stockwell did some designs on some short-term flood mitigation solutions. And those could still end up being used, but it's been decided that we're getting far enough along with the Corps now that it may be best to wait to have the new study done and the information, and it will likely become a bigger project than what the city would have undertaken. But the price tags we are looking at for those short-term solutions were all in the $20 million range. So a lot for a town of 3,000 to take on at the moment. So that's kind of, we're hoping that the Corps process goes faster than they estimate it could, but
Depends on where you sit in town, you know what I mean? It's like your house. You kind of want it.
yeah.
So it's not
Pam, can you come up here? Thanks.
I just had a question for you, Ross. I'm on the county part of that, I'm Pam Edwards. I guess I can move it down. And we have not met for a while. We submitted our goal to the Corps, and of course, they've taken it just like they have with the city. And I think it is a compiled or compilation of maybe everybody's wishes, of course, we want to divert water further north. We don't want it to get here, the county board or task force. But with that said, there were numerous monitors, flood monitors, that were actually damaged or not functioning. Rusty was aware of that too. Does anybody know if that's going to be part of what the Corps is doing now, is actually replacing those so that they can monitor rainfall?
I think all those have been replaced,
Have they? Okay.
all up and down the Big Sioux River.
Okay,
Yes,
I had not-
that came out in one of the meetings.
okay,
I think they have new monitors
okay.
up and down the river.
The county's not meeting with the Corps, I know you guys are. You've got some connections.
Yeah, I think county might be on those.
Maybe Mike?
Zoom meetings too.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mm-hmm, thank you.
Well, and I think another thing that we learned in some of the meetings was like FEMA and these government agencies will only mitigate a problem one time, and that's it. So if we do too many short-term mitigation, it lessens the need to do the long-term mitigation. So if we kind of cut ourselves off, and if we do too much
Yeah, if we present too
Short-
many.
short-term mitigation, and so we might not get any long-term mitigation for the entire, all of southern Union County if we do too much stuff for the short term. So it's hard, because we all want it.
So if you were to put a temporary levee again, you're saying FEMA wouldn't cover the damage that it would do? Because they only did it one time?
We didn't use FEMA funds, well, for that flood event. I don't know all of the specifics, but they'll only mitigate the problem once. They fixed some things, from this prior event, but they'll only pay to solve it in the future one time.
And if they see that we have done something to put a fix in place, it becomes less of a priority. If we're fixing it.
So your plan still would be to build a temporary levee? Whether FEMA would cover anything, you don't know.
I think we're still subject to that plan, and so that hasn't changed. If there was another flood event, then that same agreement would apply, and we would be taking that same action. I do believe FEMA would respond to any new disaster that would occur, but we just don't want to, I think they're talking about the remediation in response to the 2024 flood in particular.
And even if we did build a temporary levee somewhere, that has to go through the Army Corps, and it has to show that it doesn't, displace water on somebody else. So there still has to be an Army Corps study, even if we were to try to do a temporary solution.
Even if you could say that this will fail, because it, didn't get the water to the lake, it destroyed a bunch of stuff.
It might push it to somebody else. So it still has to go through the Army Corps, and all that would have to be approved. But good questions. I'm sure Jeff has more knowledge on that than we can answer tonight.
The main thing is we haven't forgotten about it, and we want to keep proceeding.
It's 2 years, and, every summer as soon as it starts raining, I'm like, ah.
Yeah, we are sitting ducks for 10 years.
Some more than others. Some more than others.
Next item, financial. Need a motion to approve the bills.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, meeting adjourned.
You remember?
I remember. I'm starting to get